webinar. It's a great pleasure and a privilege for me, a little overwhelming if I can say so. Corona does not give me the liberty to meet most of you in person. So I shall give you a brief introduction of who I am and where I come from. I was born and brought up in Calcutta and started my career from there. Graduated from St. Xavier's College, Calcutta University, and did my master's in business management from Cardiff. My varied experiences in diverse industries gives me a sort of versatility that I try to implement in the work I do. That I believe is, in short and the long of me. That's who I am. Now, I'll just walk you through today's presentation and just give you a brief of how we are going to proceed in the course of maybe the next hour or so. So we'll be talking about matrix polymers. I'll touch upon the automotive segment. We'll talk about rotomolded applications for automotives. We'll talk about materials, what matrix polymers brings onto the table. We'll look at some essential requirements for OEMs. We'll have an overview of the automotive spectrum. I'll touch upon BS6 and future possibilities. We'll just discuss a little bit about electric vehicles and the future. And then we'll probably try to summarize, and I will have our technical director, Mr. Aldo, take the Q&A session. So let's begin. Rohit ji has been kind enough to discuss a little bit about the background, who matrix polymers are and what we do. But I'll just briefly touch upon some of the aspects. We are today the world's largest leading raw material suppliers for rotomolding industry. The one which is 100% focused on serving rotomolding alone. The key objectives, one of the key objectives that we have in mind is to bring in fresh ideas and exciting new materials to the market and expand the range of products that can be rotomolded. A brief look at our manufacturing facilities across the globe. We are headquartered in Northampton, UK. Our production facilities in Liverpool and Poland. We have manufacturing facilities in Liverpool, just a snapshot. The plant was set up in 1997, spread across 4,500 square meters, with a production capacity of 18,000 metric tons annually, and that houses 66 employees. It is ISO 9001:2015 certified. The Kolo plant in Poland, established in 2005, a production capacity of 30,000 metric tons annually, housing 69 employees, again ISO 9001 2015 certified. The Shah Alam plant in Malaysia was established in 2013. That happens to be the recent addition to the Matrix group. A production capacity of 15,000 metric tons annually, and we are growing. And in addition to these three you have seen here, we have one in Australia and one in New Zealand. This gives us a well spread out reach across the globe that enables Matrix to service its clients locally and effectively. Now, research and development at Matrix is a serious business. Remember, I told you one of our key objectives was to bring in fresh ideas and exciting new materials. Matrix has a very strong technical roots. We are heavily invested in research and development. More on this will come from Aldo in the course of this presentation. In short, we have research and development in our DNA. We believe if you have to be the world leaders, you have to be the first ones, ahead in invention, ahead in research, ahead in development, and ahead in the race. Team Matrix likes to work in close collaboration with its customers, and we have strong partnerships with our suppliers, some of the world's largest petrochemical companies. Design for roto. Matrix Polymers offers one of the widest ranges of materials for rotomolding, and several of our key grades have been developed under our design for roto concept. These are made to our own recipe and produced exclusively for Matrix alone. Our growing infrastructure means we can work with OEMs in each region, and we are able to supply them globally. Over the next few slides, we will cover product offerings for automotive industry, ranging from conventional polyethylene to the more specialized items like nylon or PA12. This snapshot gives you an overview of how the rotomolding market is spread in Europe. You would see that it's radically different from what we see in India. As you can very well see here, the single largest dominant application is infrastructure, and that is water tanks. When we talk about rotomolding and its various applications in India, this sense of humor that rotomolding is all about water tanks has to go. We shall come to that in more detail later on. Now, the genesis of today's presentation shall be built upon a startling fact. The modern day world of advanced tools is dominated with plastic, accounting for not less than 50% of its total volume. And yet, this amounts to just 10% of its total weight. So the key here is light weighting. Metal is heavy, plastic is not. So what are the emerging trends? And what does the future show? Four things. High quality materials are being developed, emergence of new technologies, electric vehicles, and of course, increased regulation and compliance. There was a time when plastics were considered cheap alternative material for non-critical automotive components, mind you, non-critical automotive components. Now the advancement in plastics has led to a massive metal to plastic conversion. Why plastics? Heat and chemical resistance, high impact strength, molding capabilities, and much more. Plastic is versatile, metal is not. This is what the world scenario looks like for the next 5 years. And mind you, the portion that is shaded green is where all the action is going to be. Asia is projected to dominate the global automotive plastic market. It is the largest market for electric vehicles, There's going to be a high demand for plastics, constant pressure for weight reduction. That means more usage of plastic material. Why? Because the per capita plastic consumption here is low, and it's surely going to increase. So clearly there is a lot of action ahead that we can look forward to. Now, there was a time when steel was the material of choice for fuel systems. Not only was steel an excellent barrier against fuel vapor, but the price too was an advantage. But you had problems, leakage and corrosion. Enter plastics. And a revolutionary change has been witnessed by all. Improvement in safety, improvement in weight, improvement in cost, improvement in durability. What more could you want? Plastics coming into being means there is more safety, permeability, weight, durability, and all these factors taken care of. You have innovative designs that can be manufactured. You have new manufacturing techniques. High impact strength plastics are being developed. You have corrosion-free plastic tanks, reduction of weight, and that is what has led to new materials like PA6, PA12, M950, and the rest. We'll be talking about in the course of my presentation. Just let's have a look at the automotive segment and rotomolding. About 5 or 6 key points that I would like to mention here is we are witnessing the development of specialized polymers. Many new components are coming within the fold of rotomolded applications. There is much more flexibility of design, excellent detailing and finish. There is no wastage or scrap. You have the possibility of double wall constructions, and all of this is cost efficient. If you were to look at becoming an OEM supplier, you need to be aware of certain things that auto majors look at. For instance, when you're talking about applications that are rotomolded for the automotive segment, they're looking for high aesthetic requirements, durability and toughness. There is a tight tolerance level, mind you, pinhole-free technology, scratch resistance in materials, weight reduction, low CO2 emission standards, high temperature resistance, and of course, conductivity. And the result? It leads to a wider selection of materials. I have tried to list down some of the key things that automotive players need to be wary of. But before that, when we look at the automotive segment, we'll try to divide it into 5 major categories: the two-wheelers, the three-wheelers, commercial vehicles, agricultural sector comprising of tractors and trailers, and of course, private cars. What you see here is a heavy-duty tractor. I will leave it to your imagination of what the possibilities can be. Dashboards, mud guards, roof, air duct, and many more applications. Tractor fuel tank. Now, fuel tanks is a very, very wide topic. If we were to devote an entire day discussing fuel tanks, I think we would fall short of time. But we just try to look at fuel tanks, maybe for different categories, and then look at what kind of materials work in this segment. Plastics are utilized for processing numerous automotive components and parts, and fuel tanks being one of the most significant for rotomolders. Unlike with metal, material suppliers such as Matrix are now able to tailor the performance characteristics of plastic resins to meet a designer's particular needs, adjusting additives to align with specific requirements. The day is not far when fuel tanks made from metal shall be consigned to the museum where they truly belong. Why fuel and hydraulic tanks to be rotomolded? Well, the benefits are enormous. Rotomolded fuel tanks allow for innovative design. They offer high impact strength that helps retain integrity even on impact. There is less risk of leakage. Plastics do not corrode. And of course, plastic fuel tanks help reduce weight of the vehicle. AdBlue tanks. Now that BS6 comes into effect, with new emission norms laid down by the government, you get to hear a lot of AdBlue tanks more and more every now and then. Technologies are clearly changing. The AdBlue tank is one such addition we will be getting to hear a lot about in the future. And that is a distinct new opportunity for rotomolders. Fuel tanks for motorbikes. There is so much of noise about petrol tanks for two-wheelers amongst Indian rotomolders in recent times. The future looks to hold a lot of promise. You probably noticed this same fuel tank in the video I showed you. This particular fuel tank is for a leading This cooling duct is manufactured using polyamide or nylon, as we commonly call it, PA6. And of course, there are many more applications that could be discussed. What needs to be understood is that as technologies evolve and newer and better materials get developed, more and more product applications begin to emerge. Now, if you're aiming to become a rotomolded supplier for automotive segment, it makes sense to understand what these guys are looking for. What are the prerequisites for a high quality supplier for, say, fuel tanks? One, quality. You need to have manufacturing excellence, consistent quality. Production is going to be the key. Product customization. You need expertise in execution of design. Experience. Your pedigree and experience has to be top-notch. Precision and consistency, capacity and throughput, the right material. You need to align with quality material suppliers. You need to be cost-effective. And above all, understand that you are always going to be regulated within the legal framework of approvals and compliances. Now, what determines the choice of material? I shall try and explain how we as material suppliers look at creating different materials for the automotive roto products. The call for higher performing polymers is challenging resin suppliers with each passing day. This is because polymer manufacturers have to adapt their product offerings or grades such that the right materials are getting created to cope with any fuel under any set of circumstances. So for us at Matrix, it is always about raising the bar a little higher each time, every time. Some factors that we need to consider in developing material for rotomolded products are listed out here. I'll give you a sneak peek into some of the materials that Matrix offers amongst its wide range of materials for automolded applications. Now, most of these grades that you see here are commonly used across Europe and rest of the world. Not all of them in India, although I would love to see them all come to India. For more information or technical data sheets or specific inquiries for any of these materials that might interest you, please mail me. I would be glad to assist you. This slide shows you a range of TUV approved grades that we have for European customers. I would love to bring each one of them to India someday soon. Now, I would possibly need an entire day or two if I were to discuss in greater detail all the various grades that Matrix offers for the automotive segment. That should perhaps be left for a technical workshop. Matrix Polymers would be keen to host for Roma members in the near future. And having said that, let me take you through some of the most popular and most in demand grades that have been embraced and adopted by Indian automotive industry. Just to give you an idea and a feel of what Matrix stands for and why it makes sense to align with the best. Revolve 6329U perhaps would not need an introduction for most of you rotomolders. It's a hexene grade that offers a 0.939 density, an MFI of 3.2, and a UV15 specification. What are the benefits of using Revolve 6329U? Well, its durability, high tensile strength, flexibility of material and design applications, simplicity of changing colors and matching custom colors. That brings me to my favorite, XL400. Now, since there is so much of demand for XL400 in India as much as in Europe, or for that matter in Australia, I would be glad to share with you a video that shows a fuel tank made from this particular material. Some of you might have already seen it on the internet, but it's worth a watch anytime. And once more, okay, we talk about the benefits first. It's suitable for diesel tanks, offers more rigidity, it's lightweight and strong, good for intricate designs and shapes, corrosion resistance, abrasion resistance, and of course, UV15. Let me show you the video clip. Remember, that was XL 400. Then we talk about Revolve M 950, again a hexene grade, 0.939 density, an MFI of 3.5, and it's widely used for diesel fuel tanks. It's TUV approved, ARI approved, and comes with UV 15. What are the benefits of M950? Again, high tensile strength, good moldability, excellent impact strength, lightweight characteristics. It's less expensive compared to Crosslink and is suitable for complex designs. This shows you a comparison between LLDP and Crosslink and why we insist the use of XLPE for fuel tanks. XLPE outperforms technically any LLDPE in terms of mechanical and physical performance. Better ESCR, better creep resistance, better hydrocarbon barrier, and greater impact properties. In this slide, we take a look at nylon, polyamide 6, polyamide 12. Some of the benefits of PA6, high strength and stiffness at high temperatures, good impact strength, very good flow for easy processing, good abrasion and wear resistance, excellent fuel and oil resistance, excellent surface finish, good electrical insulating properties. Polyamide 12 offers excellent hydrocarbon barriers. It's ideal for petrol tanks, excellent chemical compatibility, good impact resistance, high stiffness, high operating temperature resistance, the easiest nylon to rotomold. Now in EU, there is an industrial practice to use Crosslink for motorbike fuel tanks. But it's worthwhile to mention that PA12 offers a better hydrocarbon barrier against permeation, and we would always recommend the use of PA12 over XLP. With the rise of electric vehicles, new technologies, and tougher fuel emission norms, the automotive industry will enter into a high growth trajectory sooner than we think. And so will the rotomolding industry for automotive products. Manufacturing will look to make lighter, less expensive components. There is going to be innovation in materials, no doubt, as much as in products that can be rotomolded, and which will be backed by innovation in design and execution. They say with the advent of COVID virus, social distancing is the new normal. With automotive rotomolded products, lightweighting is going to be the new normal. Moving on, this presentation would be incomplete if I did not talk about BS6 norms, its impact, and why rotomolders should be happy. Let me try and decode it as simply as I possibly can. BS6 stands for Bharat Stage, which signifies the emission regulation standards set by the Government of India. These emission standards are set by the central government to keep a check on the pollution levels emitted by vehicles. Basically, BS6 norms act as a good reference point as to how much does a vehicle pollute. The central government has mandated that all vehicle manufacturers, both two-wheelers and four-wheelers, should manufacture, sell, and register only BS6 vehicles from 1st April 2020, which implies it's already come into effect. Now, the newly introduced BS6 norms are going to bring in a radical change. India will get more fuel-efficient vehicles, no doubt. This is going to bring about substantial enhancement in the air quality of highly populated cities. But at the same time, new materials are going to get developed for alternate fuel systems. Lightweighting of vehicles and hence more usage of plastic parts. Environment-friendly technologies will come into play. Regulators will define the future. Automakers will decide the menu. Polymer suppliers will prepare the recipe, and automolders will host the party. Where you stand on this issue depends upon where you sit. Electric vehicles, my favorite subject again. EVs, as we commonly refer to electric vehicles, sales are accelerating worldwide. They are now projected to grow to as much as 50% of worldwide vehicle sales by 2040, and up from just about 1% in 2016. The rise of electric vehicles is a key issue to be considered when you evaluate the automotive outlook and subsequently polymer demand. Plastics such as polypropylene, polyethylene, and polyamide are expected to witness growth, specifically for electric vehicles. And Asia Pacific, mind you, is expected to exhibit higher growth rates in comparison to mature automotive markets, because the current average plastics consumption in developing economies is comparatively lower. Now let's take a look at the Indian automotive spectrum. As we all know, the two-wheelers dominate. About 80-81% of the total market is controlled by two-wheelers, followed by passenger vehicles, and then three-wheelers and commercial vehicles. A further insight going deeper in, we take them one by one. The two-wheeler market share, Hero dominates, followed by Honda, TVS, Bajaj, Royal Enfield, India, Yamaha, and Suzuki. The three-wheeler segment dominated by Bajaj, followed by Piaggio, Mahindras, Atul, TVS, and Scooters India. The passenger vehicles market share, Maruti Suzuki holds roughly about 50-51 odd %, followed by Hyundai, Mahindras, Tata, Honda Cars, Toyota, Renault, Ford, and the others. If you take a look at the commercial vehicles market, Tata Motors command the maximum market share of 44%, followed by Mahindras, Ashok Leyland, Eicher, Force, SML Isuzu, Maruti, and the rest. And how are they placed? Just check out the demographic distribution. We can see 4 major clusters in India where the industry is dominated. In the west, you have the Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Aurangabad belt. In the south, we look at Chennai, Bengaluru, Hosur. Calcutta, you have, of course, the Tatas and Hindustan Motors, and Delhi, Gurgaon, Faridabad up north. If you were to look a little closer into what's on the right-hand side, you would see the who's who of the Indian automotive industry and where each one of them is placed. The future of Indian automobile industry. The Indian automotive OEM industry is already in a very strong position. By 2026, we are going to be among the world's top 3. Indian automotive industry is poised to touch US $251 billion by 2026. And the cost advantage for India is almost 25 to 35% less than Europe and Latin America, which implies that manufacturing parts or components for the automotive segment in India is cheaper as compared to Europe. Look at some of the investments that are bound to come into India or are being lined up for the next 3 to 5 years. You would see the who's who of companies like Nissan, Toyota, Volvo, Hero, Force Motors, and others who are willing to invest and betting big time on India. And of course, not to forget, electric vehicles markets is also poised to become a 50,000 crore opportunity by 2025. But as they say in Hindi, dukh se agar pehchan na ho to kaisa gam aur kaisi khushiyan. And I would be not doing justice to my presentation if I did not look at some of the challenges we are faced with. Clearly, the Indian rotomolders are underinvested in technology. If you take a very traditional view on what ails rotomolders in India, two things come to mind: processes and technology. Both need improvement. Indian rotomolders are still some way from being a tech ready for India's scale, and given what the future is going to be or is likely to be. Clearly, four bottlenecks that need to be addressed. India's automotive manufacturers have a trust deficit. Indian mold manufacturers have a skill deficit. Indian rotomolders have a tech deficit, and the workforce have a skills deficit. If India can fix this, everything else falls in place. Indian rotomolders have a choice. You can either create a baby or you can create a dwarf. A baby is going to grow, a dwarf, well. So what are the opportunities for Indian rotomolders? To become the world's third largest automotive market by 2026, a huge opportunity. World's largest tractor manufacturer already. We are the second largest. Sorry for the glitch. We are the second largest bus manufacturer, the third largest heavy trucks manufacturer in the world. Indian automotive industry is growing, and the OEMs aspire to achieve global eminence. The Indian industry aspires to triple vehicle sales by 2026 from 26 million to 75 million. So just to conclude this presentation, what we are facing is unprecedented in terms of scale and change that is about to come. Polymer manufacturers will innovate and create new product offerings. Durable heat-resistant polymers that reduce weight will be in high demand. Rapid growth of electric vehicles to open up new opportunities for rotomolding materials and applications. A trusted relationship between material suppliers and rotomolders is imperative. And of course, automotive industry for tomorrow is going to use more of plastic, not less. A statutory disclaimer from our side on the use of images, graphics, and videos in this presentation. Nothing is intended for any business purpose or commercial use in any manner whatsoever. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Vijay ji.
Thank you.
Seti ji.
Yeah, once. Yeah, good afternoon, dear Roma friends, and welcome to 15th webinar. I thank you very much, Mr. Aldo Contro and Mr. Vijay Joshi of Matrix Polymers for accepting Roma request for today's webinar, and also thank Mr. Vijay Joshi for today's wonderful presentation. It is our pleasure and honor that today Nina Baldera from Matrix, she is also present in today's webinar. We welcome Mrs. Nina Baldera from Matrix. As we know that Matrix Polymer is a world leading supplier of raw material to the rotomolding industry. They have a multiple location manufacturing plants and manufacturing natural and colored custom molding powders. Mr. Vijay Joshi has emphasized on details on automotive sectors, various raw materials used for the automobiles industries and custom molding products. He is also emphasized on the infrastructure product, automobile parts, and custom molding products. As he has shown that the complete world scenario Asia is going to be dominate to the global automotive market in coming years, and especially in the automotive sector, where the dashboards, mudguard, roofs, and fuel tanks is the major market. He is also given the new technology and new line from the Indian market. The electric vehicle market is also upcoming and upgrowing market. So there will be more opportunity for the roto molders to develop electric vehicles parts by roto molding technology. It is an opportunity to the Indian roto molder to enter in upcoming automotive market, and that is maturing now and supporting Indian market for updating automotive parts. We thanks Matrix for the ready support for Indian market for upgrading automotive powders and technical supports. We anticipate Matrix to work with Roma to upgrade and support Indian roto molding industry for upcoming years. As Mr. Vijay Joshi informed us that manufacturing cost in India is almost 20 to 25% lesser than the European market. It is a big opportunity for Indian manufacturer to enter in this business to capture the automotive sectors. He also emphasized that we have to upgrade our technology. We are under invested in the technology. We should now invest in the technology and upgrade our materials, molds, and machinery to work with the internationally part with the international market. I thank you very much for Mr. Rohit Rungta from Cosmo Fibers as a welcome speaker to welcome our speaker, Mr. Aldo and Mr. Vijay Joshi of Matrix Polymers. Mr. Rohit Rungta is also a director in Roma board and always accepting responsibility for developing and upgrading the roto molding industry from the inception of Roma. I thank you, Rohit, for this opportunity. As you all aware that Roma is always arranging the webinars and seminars on the different topics. We have covered almost today our 15th webinar. We have covered almost all topics starting from the raw materials, the custom molding molds, machineries, technology, testing facilities, and always we try to bring the world leaders in the roto molding as a speakers. Today also we have got the Matrix is the world leading company for the raw material, and they have given the very good presentation on different raw materials and different products. So in that way, Roma is always conducting the various seminars and webinars for this one. We request our all members and especially the non-members who still has not become the member, they should become a member to the Roma and avail the facility which Roma is providing for the Indian roto molders. We have started our websites that is in regular. We have updated our website and that is in regular upgradations are there in the things. The members can upgrade their advertisements and they can sponsor the webinars for the business platform. So anyone who is interested, they can go to our website and avail the different special packages for the membership as well as the advertisement packages. Now, I'd be happy to announce that the Roma is now the largest roto molding association in India and the third largest association in the world. So we are almost touching to the 100 members, and this year we have already targeted 200 members. So soon we'll achieve this target and be going to become the world largest roto molding association. So I request people who have still not become the members, they should come forward and become the members and be a part of growth of roto molding industry. Now, I would also like to announce that we have already initiated to be for the international and the global membership drive, and we are happy to announce that we have got a very good response from the international members, and almost we have got Gaji Tanks and Matrix. We also request Matrix to become a Roma member soon and be a part of Roma. And we, at this stage, I would like to announce that containers in last week, containers from the South Africa, from the Africa, they have become the Roma members. We welcome containers as a Roma member and welcome Mr. Chandu Shah. He's our old friend and a very long association with Indian market and very good knowledge and very experienced person worldwide. So we request that from African Roma, India and Africa will work together, and definitely they will work together for the growth of Indian and African market. So I request Chandu Shah that he should guide us and give the active participation in the Roma activities. Mr. Chandu Shah is present today in the webinar. I think it's left. Okay.
Left. Yeah, just left.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we welcome Chandu Shah and we also require his blessing and experience, which he has got a very vast experience for the roto molding. So definitely Roma and Mr. Shah with Mr. Shah will work together for the Indian and African market. And as you know that the sponsors package and other things are there. Roma e-Beach platform also people are utilizing our website platform where they can come together and they ask for their requirements with the contact vendors and things. So that is also very popular and people are taking advantage of this WhatsApp group. We also thanks to our regular sponsor, special thanks to the Matrix and Nina Madam that from the beginning, from the inception, and Mr. Aldo, that inception of the Roma, they are supporting us. So I thanks Matrix that they will continue support to us. I also thanks M Plus, Kaveri, Turbo Plastiband, Hira Rotomold, Aryan Plus, Puja Rotomat, Pius, ML Industry, and Swastik Rotomatic, which they are giving the support to us. I also thanks Reliance Industries for giving the support from the beginning, and always they are supporting and guiding us for the different proposals. And special thanks that Mr. Manoj is also there. He's always supporting us for all the programs and development of Roma. So special thanks to the Reliance Industry and Mr. Raju and Mr. Vinod Bhai, who is supporting us. We are also thanks to the resin suppliers who are also supporting us. The special thanks to the GAIL, Indian Oil Corporation, HMEL, Opal, and Haldia. They also support from the inception of Roma, and other all resin suppliers. They are supporting us. I would like to give the information that I think 29th September 20th, we have got an AGM meeting of Roma members. We have recently completed 1 year. So we request all the registered Roma members, they should come on 29th September 2020 at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is our first annual Roma meeting, and they can come and give their suggestions, and we can work together for the next financial year and the new programs and new agenda for the roto molding industry. I would like to announce that our next webinar will be the 16th webinar that will be held on 10th October 2020. The timing will be the same time, 11:30 to 12. The presenter is Mr. well-known, our friend Mr. Dannu Patel. He is going to give the presentation from the Renard Roto Machine. He is going to give the presentation. The topic will be back to basic. So it will be a very interesting topic. How for the roto molding industries who are in the roto molding field, they should not miss this opportunity. They should save this date of 10th October. Mr. Dannu Patel is going to give the presentation. So I request all the members to save this date. So I thanks again once again to the Matrix team, Mr. Aldo and Nina Madam and Mr. Vijay Joshi and Mr. Rohit Tungta for this today's presentation. And now I request Mr. Manoj Patria and Mr. Aldo to start the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sardiji. First of all, I congratulate Vijay Joshi ji for a wonderful presentation, and many thanks to Matrix Polymer for accepting our request and for nice presentation in this series of Roma webinars. Special thank to Aldo and Vijay for the continuous support to Roma growth, and you have covered all automotive market informations, future scope to work in India, role of Matrix in India, Indian market scenario, role of XLP and hexene grades in India, and Matrix role will further increase in India after Bharat 6 norms implementation. So we have to work along with the Indian market. And since there are many molders sitting here, so I request open house queries from directly from many molders who are interested to work with Matrix, like Rohit ji from Cosmos, Dalbir ji from BD Industry. So you can ask a directly question to Aldo.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Rohit ji.
Good morning. Is there any question?
Although right now I don't have any written question, but I am expecting a few remarks from automotive customers like BD Industry or Cosmos Fiber. I think they are here, so they can give Indian scenario about automotive market. Rohit ji, are you here? Rohit ji? Hello.
Hi, Aldo. This is Akshay from BDI. I don't have a specific question. Vijay ji did not leave me a chance to ask any questions. The presentation was so good; it was so detailed. I really couldn't think of anything that I would want to know more about it. But I do want to appreciate and thank Matrix, Vijay ji, and Aldo for a fantastic session, fantastic presentation, a lot of details. A lot of the insights that would encourage more people to come into automotive in the rotomolding industry. Of course, the future does look bright. So I welcome others to also participate in this particular business segment. So thanks so much for a fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I mean,
obviously, so much.
If I may, this is a very wide subject, as Vijay has explained, and there are so many different materials which could be used in automotive applications. One thing I would like you all to consider is obviously there is not one material which would be suitable for all applications. As you can see, the selection of material is quite wide. So some things perhaps you need to consider is that you need to understand the requirements of the product, first of all. And that would be my advice to you all. Consider the requirements of the product, consider the technical, obviously, requirements, and then you talk to us, obviously, and we will give you the best advice we can. Yeah.
Any other question from?
Yeah, I want to say something about automotive market. Since I worked along in rotomolding, and I have background of automotive market in India. I previous from Reliance, I worked in Hero Honda Motors in Gurgaon. So I want to say that this is a very lucrative market in India, and in commercial vehicle market there are humongous scope in India right now. Only a few players are working very hard, and I will say if they are work with full energy, this market have a lot of new opportunities and growth in India. There are many scopes in India to work for automotive, like fuel tank is very lucrative already, very much working by many molders. So this is my remark, personal remark for automotive market. I think Rohit ji is also working very hard for automotive market. So Rohit ji, are you here?
I think Nina ji is there. She can say a few words for the Roma.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's very nice to see you all. Thank you, Vijay, for presentation. First one on our behalf. But Arnaldo, good morning. Good to see you too.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're delighted to be part of the group, and I hope that we can support many more events for you all in the future.
Thank you.
Can I add another point? Obviously, as I said, the presentation from Vijay was very comprehensive, and there is a lot to take. We don't have to do this right now. You could not digest all the concept and then come back to us at a later stage, and we will not be more than happy to support you in any shape and form, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I request members, any more questions are there, or they can send the questions so we can ask afterwards to Vijay ji and Mr. Aldo.
Sethi ji, we will collect questions from industry, and we will get back to Vijay ji with our questions list. Vijay ji?
Forward, yeah.
That should be perfect.
Yeah,
That should
we
be
will forward
perfect.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah. Over to you, Sethi ji.
Now I request Mr. L.K. Singh Saab, who is our Vice Chairman, and give the vote of thanks and the very good presentation which is given by Mr. Aldo. And
Hello. Honorable Roma members, non-members, respected speakers, friends, Vijay, Aldo, Nina, and our great sponsors to this event. I'm Lal Singh, Vice Chairman, FGC Roma, Managing Director, Pixopan Machines Private Limited, which is a pioneer in the business of high-end rotomolding products, domestically and international. I'm also the Vice President of AIPMA, a 76-year-old organization and the largest Indian plastic association with 25,000 members. I'm also a member of the NEC of the Plast India Foundation. I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to offer this vote of thanks at this memorable occasion. I'm very thankful to, and I'm sure we are all very well aware of Matrix Polymers, which is a very well established, world famous name in rotomolding, as we just heard. And they have business in all major countries across the globe. I'm very keen to develop new products, to see the new product developed by Matrix by coming with their big base in India soon. The presentations made were very, very interesting, and I'm very pleased that Vijay highlighted the role of BS6 in India, which is coming up, and that is going to bring a new advent of demands of new products on the automotive field. Electric vehicles is something else that is going to build a very big demand in the Indian industry. The new lightweight products in the automotive industry would be very, very much in demand, and we can see a very bright future. Low pollution and other products will be required, which will require matrix recipes and formulations to make those light products. There are great new opportunities, as Mr. Sethi also pointed out, and there are new entrants can come in and hope to have a very good field. I'm delighted that Matrix will be able to produce materials in India and give us 30% cheaper rates. He pointed out the future. I agree with Vijay, but I think in the next 4 or 5 years, rotomolding industry from 150,000 probably may go up to maybe 300,000 tons in the next 5 or 6 years or less. I thank Vijay and Aldo and Nina for their presentations. I also thank Rohit Rungta for a great presentation, a great introduction and highlighting the industry. I must thank all my seniors and superiors in the industry for showing the trust and spending their time to join this. I'm now elated to announce the successful closure of this 15th webinar, and I'm very pleased to see the overwhelming response in support of the rotomolding industry. Finally, I would also like to thank the ROMA members and future members for attending the series and, of course, benefiting from the knowledge. Very soon, we meet again on 16th webinar on 10th October, and of course, an IAGM. Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, LK sir. And yeah, I'm glad to say, Vijayji, we have crossed 65 participants today, and all participants are linked to automotive or very nearly linked to this sector. So this quality crowd is very much thanking you a lot. I will give you full detail of participants, of 65 participants. Thanks, Nina ji. Thanks, Aldo. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj ji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you, Aldo.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Manoj.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. LK sir,
Thank you.
Thanks, Manoj.
Thank you. Thank you. Everything. Good presentation.
Yeah.
Good.
Presentation. It is very useful for us. Thank you.